Alright, so we're going to talk about the time when I woke up in jail and my cellmate was floating in the air and I couldn't figure out what was going on. This has a sad ending, so trigger warning. So I was at Melbourne Assessment Prison. Now this is where everyone goes after they've just been given their sentence or they've just been taken off their street. This is where they go, where they get assessed to where they should go, what's the appropriate prison for them to go to. And so anyway, my second night, I had a cellmate in there the first night. He moved on the second day, and I got a new cellmate in who was a younger kid who just got 3 months jail, right? And so it was his first time in jail. This guy was a young father and had a young missus as well. And so anyway, he was hating life because he had been given 3 months, you know. And so I was trying to tell him, like, mate, it's a really shit thing that you're in jail. It's shit on your family and it's shit on you. I understand that, but you've been given a really small time. You'll go to a good jail, you know, like an open camp, and you'll get back to your family in no time. Your family will be able to come and visit you, and that'll be fine, you know. And so anyway, over the next 2 days, this guy started, you know, telling me things. It was kind of like me wondering whether he was talking about suicide or not. And yeah, so like I was trying to tell him, like, mate, it's not worth it. You've been given 3 months. This is like, you know, your family are going to be the ones that are going to suffer. And he's like, yeah, you're right. But I wasn't talking about that anyway. And I was like, oh, well, that's good. So anyway, I went to sleep that night. And I went to get up for a piss, and I noticed that my mate was standing at the toilet, and I was like, oh, all right. So I didn't even say anything. It happens so often. You get up in the middle of the night and your cellmate's going to the toilet, you know what I mean? So you're not allowed to do number twos while your cellmate's in there, by the way. But yeah, having a pee is all right. So anyway, it got to about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it must have been about 3 o'clock in the morning when I got up for a piss. Now, anyway, I went to get up for a piss again, and this dude was standing there again, you know, but I couldn't hear the toilet pissing, and I couldn't remember if I heard the toilet making a peeing noise earlier. So anyway, like, I was on the bottom bunk, and so, like, if you've ever been to the map, there's like a shower there and then the toilet. So I've stood up, took one step, and I've gone, hey, mate. And so when I've hit him, he's kind of swung forward and then swung back. And I was like, what the hell? And literally took me like 15 seconds until I've gone, oh no, he was hanging there, you know what I mean? And then after I've realised he was hanging there, I've just ran and I've got my arms around him like this by his legs, and I'm lifting him up, and I am trying to get this rope out from around his neck, you know what I mean? And like, I'm literally tearing up thinking about this because I was bawling my eyes out at the time. He was just a young kid, you know. And then like the worst thing is I had to let him back down so I could go and press the buzzer and tell the screws that my cellmate was hanging there. And what's worse is it literally took them like 15 minutes to get there. Absolutely appalling, you know. And like, I'm trying to pump his chest, and I done my stage 1 and 2, my cert 1 and 2 in first aid, and so like there was nothing I could do, you know. This was absolutely devastating. It was a really, really bad thing, and it's one of the worst memories of mine in prison at all. Cheers, guys. Thank you for all your comments and everything, guys. Cheers, guys. Keep it coming.